Hello, doing another little recording, this time outside again with my proper recorder. It's the 28th of February 23. Last day of February already, so looking forward to March, beginning of spring. Going up a big hill, so yeah, might be a bit of a breeze. So sorry if there's wind noise. I do try and shield the recorder. It's just Lottie and me. It's lovely when we get in the sunshine. It's just a cold wind. Got a bit of blue sky and some cloud. Come on, Lottie, this way. Good girl. So, things are hotting up in the stakes of getting this book finished. It's quite an exciting phase of it, because on the one hand we've got the sort of shocking realisation that as I get towards the end, I really am going to have a good way of tying it all together. And particularly, what sort of is getting me excited at the moment is thinking about all the clues and how they're going to come together, because you've got to have the thing actually solved. And a bit like in the last one, an accomplice to murder, there is more than one crime going on. In this one, in fact, it's kind of several in a funny sort of way, because it really is quite a complicated one. I don't know why I have to make things complicated. It's just the way I am. It's just the way my brain goes. So it could be quite terrifying. It's sort of a bit of not fear, but you know how a bit of adrenaline can kick in sometimes. I might go back to doing these indoors. It's a good deal easier, but it's kind of nice to do it when you're out here marching through the Devon countryside. So I was talking about adrenaline kicking in, and there's kind of two kinds, aren't there? It's like there's the fear of doing something, you run away from it, and there's the kind of right, let's get into this, let's roll our sleeves up and go for it. And it's a bit like that. So yep, I know I've now got to have my various detectives solving these crimes, having set them up over a long period, but it's kind of a fun thing to do. I guess it's the fact that I like solving problems. That kind of thing fires up my brain. Always sort of been into that kind of thing, and it's several problems to solve all at once, and it's just knowing that it is a step-by-step thing. So one of the kind of joys of the mystery genre is that kind of step-by-step, piece it together approach, which is a journey that the reader goes on, and as a writer, I can tell you it's kind of fun going on that journey as well. You get to think about how it will pan out and just put the pieces in place one after another. A bit as you might throw ingredients into the pot when you're cooking and think about how they're going to taste. It's thinking, that the readers are going to love this, or they're going to think such and such. I find that quite rewarding. I quite like the idea of readers being alternately sort of excited, mystified, frustrated, all those little steps. Not too frustrated, I hope, but as in, goodness me, what next? What's going to happen next? what will unfold? And I quite like to think of you all out there doing that. And it kind of gives me a kick as well. I think that's one of the things that I object to with trying to plan things out too much. Some people do that and it's absolutely fine, but it doesn't work very well for me. I did hear somebody talking recently on a podcast. I listened to a few writing podcasts, and it was all about, are you intuitive? Are you an intuitive kind of writer? And it really sounded like me when I heard this person speak on the subject. I thought, well, actually, I guess that's a good way of describing me and my sort of personality, the way my mind works, is that I have a sense of when things work and when they don't work, but I don't necessarily know how I get there. I guess I soak up a lot of stuff. I've always read a lot and quite widely. And when I'm reading, I do tend to be a little bit analytical, and always have been a bit about, that was good, why was that good, you know? I've always thought that, even since I was a kid really. I would sometimes go back and read another few paragraphs again, or another few pages again, just to think, wow, that's amazing, and just read it again. Whereas a lot of people will just press on and whiz through and, you know, go over their heads. I was kind of soaking it all up. So, which is all fine, you know, we're all different. We all have our own ways of reading and doing things, enjoying things. And, you know, that's the way my brain is wired, I guess. And plus there's a lot I've learned over the years as well. I mean, I've done quite a lot of books of different kinds, and it's all a learning experience. I'm a big believer in learning things as we go through life. I think learning new things is always great. And yeah, I hope some of that comes across in the books. I really love it when people say things are well written, you know. It's kind of a lovely bit of praise, or when people say they've enjoyed it, or, you know, they've devoured all the books and things like that. I really like seeing those comments on Facebook or in book reviews. It's really nice. So hopefully things are paying off. So that's kind of the stage I'm at. It's piecing together the clues, and sometimes what I'll do is I'll start making really rough notes, and that'll turn into a rough draft, because I'll you know, I might scribble down a couple of options, say, for how something might pan out. You know, could it be this? I'll literally write or this, or, you know, something else, and then I'll look at those and I'll sort of look for the loopholes, look for any objections I might have. And if part of me says, well, that's not going to work for this reason, or I just don't like something, maybe I think it's just not going to be very interesting, and I'll tend to then plump for something and start putting down dialogue particularly, and just blasting it down really quickly, because then that way you can keep in the kind of the flow, and it feels more like a natural conversation that the characters are having. If you write it quite quickly, if you slow down too much, I think it becomes a bit forced and strained. So I tend to sort of write in quick bursts and then have a break, and then, you know, maybe do something else for a little bit. Go and put some laundry on or something, or walk the dog like I'm doing now, and then put some more down. Hopefully, just keep that going. On a good day I can keep that going quite a bit, and other days it gets harder, but yeah, it's coming along, and it is an exciting stage. The clues, of course, have got to be matched up with what came earlier in the book, and sometimes I've already laid the path. What I do is I kind of, again, sort of intuitively leave things that might snag the eye of a mystery reader, or maybe they'll just go past. Either way, it's okay, just as long as the little things there, little hints, and I put in more of those, then will pan out, because these are the famous red herrings. And, you know, I think they're fun as well. I think they're all part of it, and that all adds a layer of interest as you go, because you're at the back of your mind as a reader thinking, well, is that relevant, is that important, or oh, that could be a thing. It might just be a look somebody gives, or something they say, or a hint. And some of those will be played out and some of them won't, because you can't do every single thing. I mean, if it's a major one, yes, then you owe it to the reader to explain how it's relevant. So there's some of that I'm doing as well. I hear a tractor roaring along the lane down there. Local farmer doing some jobs, feeding his cows, I guess. Quite noisy. Yeah, it's got a bale of silage attached to the front, or haylage, one or the other. So yeah, you kind of try and play out the most obvious ones, because people don't like loose threads. So if it's a minor mention, then you know it's okay, it's a red herring, or you might have to explain it. It depends. It's a judgment thing really, and I will be checking for that when I do my next draft of the book. When I go through, I'll be looking out for things and making sure that they pay off one way or another usually. And it is getting there. It's quite exciting to be on that stage of the book. Things happening, clues coming together. It's going to be quite a fun one. They do build up quite slowly, the Devonshire Mysteries, and I sort of want to keep them that way. I quite like the way the characters are explored a bit beforehand, so that you're starting to wonder what's going to happen, and then something happens, and then you kind of have got lots of information to go on as a reader. You've got background information on the characters. So, all good fun. And I'm looking forward to getting going with it. Oh, Lottie's just stopped by the leaves of a purple spotted orchid, which is nice to see. Not terribly rare, I don't think, but you don't see hundreds of them. You certainly get them around this part of the world. Just the leaves at the moment with their blotches on them. I'll take a photo when the flowers come out. There'll be a few in this field, I think. Anyway, okay, I was going to say a big thank you to the people who sent me a mug of tea via coffee.com. It's really appreciated. All those little cups of tea all add up, and it does help me out with stuff that I need for the writing. You know, it might be paying for a promotion of some software or something like that, or hosting for this podcast or website, and all those little things, these little expenses add up as well, so that the contributions really help. Thank you very much. And I will talk to you again soon. Until then, look after yourselves and take care. Bye.